main pillar of BADEA's new strategy is SMEs in Africa. And today, we have a chance to have with us Didier Acouetey, who is really the champion of SMEs champion in Africa. Whenever we hear about SMEs in Africa, we hear about Didier. So we are also proud to have Fabrice with him. Fabrice is the manager of ACD, which is one of our partners. Our partner in terms of communication strategy and training, but we also welcome BADEA's friend, Ibrahima Diong, who has been instrumental in the preparation of BADEA strategy and who has also supported BADEA for communication and training and many other duties. So thank you very much and welcome.
I understood my name was mentioned Ibrahima and the name of DJ and Fabrice as well. But thank you very much to His Excellency for setting the scene of our conversation, as I said earlier, which is really in line with the strategy, and the pillar is right there. So we could now pick a better topic of our conversation today. Now, the two people I'm about to introduce, I'm a bit biased because they're both my friends, and I hope I'll be objective in introducing them. But in that put aside, I think these are people that I admire extremely for what they do, but also for the commitment and the passion for the country. Now, Didier Acouetey, the best way to introduce him, in 1994, if I'm not mistaken, many years ago, it doesn't make me any younger. One of the things that he was extremely passionate about is making sure that African talent and African expertise is recognized and utilized to the fullest in many international organizations. So he created an organization called African Search to find African talent all over the world and make sure they either come back home or work in this international organization. And then about a couple of years ago, in addition to what he does and does extremely well, which is finding talent, began to champion the SMEs across Africa. For the reason all of us know, which is that they actually contribute about 80% of the jobs on the continent. They contribute massively to the GDP of all of Africa. So anybody who cares about African development obviously has to champion the SMEs. So he's really somebody who is known, recognized, and appreciated as the SME champion, to the extent that 6 years ago, he and I and many other people launched the African SME Champions Forum, which BADEA is supporting and supporting fully. DJ also sits in a number of boards across Africa, and one of the things that he's extremely passionate about is really building a gap, or bridges I should say, between Asia and Africa, extending his created the first South Asia African Chamber of Commerce in Singapore as a way of taking Africa to the rest of the world. So give me a round of applause to Didier Acouetey. Now I've known Fabrice for a number of years, from our time together in London, both as bankers, well, competing banks at the time, but we're good friends anyway. And then Fabrice has done exactly what I've done, which is that about a couple of years ago, his president has asked him to go back home and be part of the solution. I did the same thing in 2007 when I joined the government of Senegal. And for a number of years, he was actually leading the Gabon mining company and making sure that the interests of Gabon is preserved and protected in the exploitation of mining resources. But in addition to running the mining company, he's also been a long-term banker from Citibank, many other banks, has worked in the telecom sector, and has worked pretty much all over the world before he actually joined me about 2 years ago to be my partner in the company that I'm running in Senegal. So he does all the work, making all the credit. That's basically the way we work together. But more than that, he's somebody also who's extremely passionate about entrepreneurship. And in fact, he talked to me a lot about entrepreneurship and supporting startup all over Africa. He's somebody also I want to give a big round of applause, Fabrice Nze-Bekale. Now, what we're trying to do, like in any lecture series, it's really not about lecture. Every lecture is not about work. It's really an exchange. We'd like to have with you. So I guess we'll set the scene of our conversation. It's highlighting a couple of issues that we should be mindful of. And now I'm going to moderate the conversation to make sure that you can chip in, as well as address the extended with you. So our topic today is about really unlocking the potential of African SMEs. As I mentioned earlier, they constitute really a strong player in African economies, but they do face some challenges. The good news, there are also opportunities, not on the cards. It's really important for SMEs, and from there on, we'll have a great conversation with all of you. Because I hope that you can contribute, ask questions, comments, so we can keep it as dynamic as possible. So without further ado, DJ.
I think we had a great conversation, and the whole thing about building an ecosystem appears like a real necessity. We cannot take any initiative as a standalone initiative when it's about supporting SMEs. What does it mean? Government plays a huge role, even in the global environments that government sets to make sure it's conducive for SMEs to grow faster. Or when you talk about public procurement, there should be a law that favors SMEs in the sense that in any big project, a part of it, we can say 20, 30%, should go to SMEs. And there should be a way to monitor it, to control it, and make sure SMEs benefit from this group. This is from the government. The DFIs, D for development. I mean, there is something wrong about this. How can a DFI request 10, 15% as return investment when they lend money to a private equity firm? So we need to go back to the development, the D. What does it mean to support SMEs as a development agency? Third, the banks, commercial banks. Those banks, basically, it seems that they were not designed for SMEs. So how do we make sure commercial banks play their role in supporting SMEs? When we talk about commercial banks, we talk about interest rates. How can an SME afford to pay back a loan when the interest rate is 12% or 20% in some countries? No. Central bank need to regulate and play a role in this whole ecosystem. PE firms, private equity. This is a huge business that's growing in the continent to support private sector. But again, the average ticket of $1, $2, $3, $5 million, it's not for a traditional SMEs or a traditional macro company. So commercial banks, PE firms need to play their role. And on top of that, of course, the training centers that should train the youth, that should incubate the youth, that incubate SMEs should be specific. You know, it's not about just building a business school and saying, oh, you start a business with $1 billion. No, that's the dream. So the centers that will train these young people, will train these SME leaders to help them grow the business is very important, including incubation centers that are required to build this ecosystem. And of course, the SMEs themselves. I'm not blaming them, but I'm not saying they are, the one that doesn't require any advice. But as an SME leader, as a CEO, governance, skills, financial statement, information, transparency, those are some of the things that SMEs as well from the side need to put together and make sure the whole ecosystem come nicely together and become more conducive for SMEs.
I think the radical idea that I found with the most potential is the need to change the approach in giving access to SMEs. so far, not only are critical building blocks missing, like angel investors, like private equity funds, but in the SME, African SME local context, which means that they are there to invest not millions of dollars in SMEs in Africa, because SMEs in Africa need much smaller amounts. So private equity funds need to be able to lend those small amounts of money to SMEs. But the most important part is dedicated SME-dedicated banks. The way banks have been lending to SMEs so far, and that explains why there is so little actually lent to SMEs, is that they treat SMEs like big corporations. They treat SMEs like the states. They ask for the same amount of collateral that the SMEs cannot produce, while the SMEs have other assets that they can pledge. I gave the example of a discussion I had with a big cattle farmer in Burkina Faso. He had 300 heads of cattle. Okay, really, he was willing to give them as a collateral to a bank to get a loan, and he was not able to get a loan. Why? Because the bank considered that cattle is not the proper collateral. What they wanted was the traditional housing, the traditional land, which the farmer couldn't provide. So banks need to adapt, but it's difficult to expect banks that have been working for ages a certain way with a certain type of clients to adapt overnight. Maybe the solution is to create new kinds of financial institutions entirely dedicated to SME, with the SME DNA in their genes.
BADEA can play an incredible leadership role. What does it mean? We have the global picture, we have the frame. But someone needs to take action and bring all the stakeholders on board and say, okay guys, this is an initiative where we can plug all your goodwill on. Meaning, a growth initiative, for instance, the SME growth initiative, with aims at supporting SMEs with the right ecosystem, from accessing the right funding, the right markets, the right support, the right incentives, the right capacity building program. This can be a way to start with a program where BADEA bring together all the stakeholders that we were talking about and form a coalition, as the CEO has been mentioning. This coalition needs to be dedicated to SMEs with specific programs, specific vehicles like equity fund with very low tickets. This is something that BADEA can lead as well. So I think there's a couple of things within this ecosystem that BADEA can bring together and take the lead to change the SME narrative.
I think BADEA has the right approach. It has to be holistic, and they have the humility to say so. The other great thing is that BADEA understands that alone they cannot do it, but by involving others, other GFIs, other stakeholders in a coalition, their impact can be much greater, and I think they should be commended for that.